How are you, Rex?
What's going on, Rich? I'm sitting here licking my wounds today.
Well,
and you guys are discounting us. We can't win it now in November? One game?
Well,
come on. Duke and Alabama? I know we're a football school now, but come on.
Nice. You are. Man, I loved your tweet. I got to read it. Right here. Here's a tweet that when I saw it, I'm like, I got to reach out to Rex to get him on the show tomorrow. Here's a tweet. Zion Williamson is Earl Campbell with double order of Charles Barkley, a large side of Mario Lemieux, and a small Ricky Henderson to go. Which play caused you to reach? Right? Which play caused you to reach for your phone and tweet that one out, Rex?
You remember? Man. I don't know. It was one where he got a rebound at about 12 feet, took off down the floor, dropped a little pass to someone for a dunk. And it reminded me of watching Charles back in the day when he was at Auburn. Now, Zion's in better shape than Charles was. But he's weird like that. He's an oddity. He's, Charles is my size, 6'4", 6'5", 7-foot wingspan. When you stepped out on the floor with him, when I talked to Charles side by side, we're the same size. When I stepped out on the floor with him, with our uniforms on, he may as well have been 7 feet tall. That's how big he played. And that's like Zion. I mean, he's freaky long, freaky athletic, big. 280 pounds, fast, quick twitch. He had guys isolated a couple times out top. Big, athletic, quick guys, was around them and dunking it at the basket before you could. Another thing, he's got it. He's tough. He over there, he wanted to beat us by 1,000 last night. They almost did.
I see. And yet, you speak to evaluators and certainly coming in terms of star recruits. Zion's maybe not the most valued recruit or player that's on the team. I mean, you take a look at the way that Barrett played last night as well, Rex. That's probably why people think that you could just hand Duke the trophy right now.
Yeah, and don't forget about Reddish. RJ, I've known of RJ for a long time. It's Stevie Nash's godson. Stevie's a good friend of mine. Rowan Barrett, RJ's dad. Rowan Barrett, you could put Rowan Barrett in any game, and he's going to get, and he's capable of getting 30, 35 points. He's a scorer. Can score right-handed, left-handed. He just goes at you. And Cam Reddish, he shoots that thing like he means it. It's water. They've got 3. Health permitting, 3 lottery picks, maybe high lottery picks. You've got to get through the season. It's a weird college season. They're all still teenagers, 18, 19 years old. None of them have really played any more basketball than the others. They're gonna lose a few games. They got to stay healthy. You saw Duke had a terrific team last year. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for everybody, but it's gonna be tough for the teams that play us too. We're really good. We are really good.
All right, Rex, I'll give you the floor on that, on Kentucky basketball, even though they just got smoked last night, as you point out.
Good.
Go for
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. The floor is yours, Rex.
Tyler Harrow's the real deal. Tyler Hero, sorry. Keldon Johnson, the real deal. Reed Travis, transfer. We're going to be really good. PJ Washington didn't play his best last night, but as I was telling somebody, good players can make you look bad. We looked awfully well against Transy and teams we played in the Bahamas and a couple exhibitions. But then you play a real team. And now we can kind of figure out where we are, and we'll have to go back. I know that Cal's teams get better all year long, every year. I look for us to be in the Final Four this year. I really do.
Okay, Rex. So then where do you stand on the subject of one-and-done players? Because it seems like we are now in full one-and-done blossom bloom. Like last night's game is a perfect example of that in college basketball right now.
Right.
Where do you stand on that subject of those players?
I think you should be able to go right out of high school. I don't think that. I think you should be able to enter the draft right out of high school if that's what you want to do. College isn't for everybody. The G League has put this new thing in where they can pay kids $125,000. Some kids will do that. My position on that is that's a big risk. If you're one of the top, if you're a McDonald's kid projected to be in the lottery in a year, but you have to go to college for a year. Or you have to go to the G League. Going to the G League and playing against grown men who played 4 years of college, most of them, who are going out every night, all of that. Nobody's going to babysit you in the G League for 125, and then you're going to get exposed unless you're really good and really mature. Now, instead of being a lottery pick or whatever after your first year in college, you played against G League competition, and now you've got no more juice. You've played, you've been exposed. You might not even get drafted now. So it's a heck of a risk to take. I really feel like you ought to be able to go right out of high school, and just like every other sport except football, you can get killed in that game if you're not physically mature enough.
No, that's true. That is the biggest fallacy you hear every year, I guess, to come full circle with the poll question that we just had at the top here, is that Alabama would be able to beat the Giants or the Raiders.
No, no way.
No chance. I mean,
somebody said that to me the other day too about Duke or Kentucky being able to beat. No, it was about Alabama. I said, you're out of your mind. No way. Come on.
So would Duke, as currently constituted, though, give a game to the current Cleveland Cavaliers with Kevin Love out right now, Rex?
No, they wouldn't. They really wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Rich, they're going to get out there and play against grown men, 25, 30 years old.
Yep.
They've played so much more basketball. You go out. No, they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. I'd love to agree with you. But,
even though I just said it would never happen in the NBA, actually, well, I mean, the NFL, I just went there with the NBA, but Zion just looks like such a grown-ass man, Rex. It's not funny, though.
He is. And again, RJ is, his game is like he's grown. You could put RJ on an NBA team right now, and, in another month, he'd be getting 20 a game in the NBA, I think. I mean, he's a natural born scorer.
So did you ever play with somebody you think would have been one and done if the one and done era was something potentially real when you were there in Kentucky, Rex?
I think could have come in and done it back in my day. I certainly could have come 1 year right out of high school. I didn't weigh but 165 pounds and not much more than that after my freshman year. Derek Coleman could have done it back in the day. There are guys I played with physically that could do it. Ramil Robinson could do it.
Right.
But by and large, it's very tough. And we get those few that come through that can do it. It's a risk to try to leave and go from high school, maturity-wise, as much as anything else. But it's very tough, and it's very tough to go in and succeed and do it. Kobe was terrible when he first came in, terrible. Kevin Garnett was terrible. Jermaine O'Neal was terrible. They couldn't even put him on the floor because they didn't have a position and nobody to guard. So you've got to be really good. Then they stayed with it and picked it up. If you're not good like they are, you'll just be washed out in no time. So it's a gamble.
So Coach Calipari said after the game that they got out-coached, outplayed. How do you think he handles this, knowing one would think that he just saw potentially the best competition that stands in the way of a team that you described, and I'm sure Calipari to his core feels is good enough to win a national championship this year? My gut is his hair is on fire today. And it will stay on fire until we play those guys again. Just sort of how he's wired. I could tell. I go watch his practice most every day here. He really had this game circled. But obviously you want to win, but you want to find out where you are. And we found out where we are compared to those guys right now. And I know Cal, Hall of Fame kind of guy, or Hall of Fame guy. Mm-hmm. This is going to stick with him. It's going to stick with his staff, Kenny Payne, Joel Justice, Tony Barbie, those guys. They'll get back to work, and we'll start grinding again. But that's how you have to look at it. I love it because so many people think that the intensity doesn't really ratchet up until conference play or tournament play. But you're saying that this one, despite it being on election night, right, Tuesday in November, maybe not everybody saw it because there was this split screens going down, that's going to leave a mark on Kentucky basketball for a long time until they get to play each other.
Well, it'll sting for a little bit, but again, I'm just happy we're talking about it. It's fun to talk basketball, being a football school.
Great job, Rex. Man, I love following you on Twitter, too, at Rex_Rex Chapman.
Bro.
Thanks for calling in. I'll chat with you down the line throughout the season. I'd love to.
We'll do it, Rich.
You got it, Rex. Thanks for the call. It's Rex Chapman.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.